Hey there folks, welcome back. I am Quentin Matsgrumman on the internet with another video update. I have here page 6 and 7. Not 100% completely done, but probably maybe an hour or so more on this, and it would probably be all done. Super cool, happy with it. A lot of detail as always, and if you would like, check it out on my X and Instagram account, and to look at it in more detail. I really like how these sort of poses came out. These were the poses I was having trouble with, and I think they really came out really super cool and super good. So that's the update with Emergency Signal, and it's coming along pretty good. How many pages is that now? I think that's like 5 pages of previews. Maybe I'll do one more to make it even 6, and I'll probably just do like page 3 or something like that. The pages in between that I haven't I just do it like in sequential order. Why not? I did do a little bit of light reading. I finally read the William Shatner's Tech World. I really like this freaking book. Really pleasantly surprised. I feel like if I had read this when I was younger, I probably wouldn't have liked it. But my tastes have changed. I would have been like, oh, this William Shatner, how corny. But this is actually pretty good. And I'm not surprised that I like it, because I did like Tech War, the show from William Shatner. This is a really good book, and if I'm going to be on the lookout for this from now on. I'm going to try to get as many of these tech worlds as I can. I would really like to get like the earlier stuff, and I'm really this book left me on a cliffhanger. I really like it. Super good art, great art, great story. See, the writer is Ron Goulart, and the artist is Lee Sullivan. That sounds familiar. I think he may have done some Spider-Man stuff, but it's pretty cool. And going through these books from the 80s and 90s, it's kind of the cool thing about these. Going through these are these little things, these advertisements. I freaking love these freaking advertisements. I used to look at these when I was younger and be like, oh, I'm gonna get this. I would write it on a list or whatever, be like, oh, this is cool. I love seeing these basket fleer cards and all this mail-in. And I used to have this freaking board game. I used to play it with my brothers. So really cool going through these books and seeing old advertisements. They're really fun and they're very nostalgic. I also picked up I've had these aren't not mine. These are actually my brother's. I was kind of going through his little comic book collection, and I was trying to see if I could find that namer, and I saw these Iron Mans from Wallace Portacio. This is from the 96, sort of when the Image guys were coming back, I think it was. And I have never read these. Wallace Portacio is one of my favorite artists. He's a really good artist. I don't really necessarily like the way he draws women, but this guy is my Filipino brother, and I love his wet works, and I love his Uncanny X-Men run. Really great artwork. But this is a really interesting story, a really interesting take on Iron Man. And I know when they did this sort of return, they linked all these sort of super smart guys together, like Dr. Doom, Mr. Fantastic, Tony Stark, and Bruce Banner. And Bruce Banner is actually in, because you could see him, the Hulk is here on the top corner there, and he's actually works for Tony Stark. And I guess sort of like he's like a weapons developer, and that's sort of how he had become the Hulk. And really, really cool take on Iron Man. Really great. Like, look at this freaking helicopter panel, man. I looked at that and I was like, that's freaking awesome, dude. Wallace Protasio is one of the greats. But sometimes his stuff can be a little bit wonky. Like, this Hulk is a little too much, I feel. But I think that's sort of what they were going for, because it's all right, but I don't know. It doesn't say Hulk to me. But I have here the first 3 issues, and I did read all 3 of them. But it didn't make me want to pick up the 4th. I'm not sure if my brother has the 4th issue. I looked it up. It didn't have a cover that I recognized, but it was okay. Iron Man's not one of my favorite characters. I mean, since Iron Man, the movie came out with Robert Downey Jr., like, he's sort of been a really popular, prominent character. But growing up, Iron Man never really was a character for me. Even in the 90s, the only cartoons I really watched, comic cartoons, was the Batman, the animated series, Spider-Man, and X-Men. I never really watched the Iron Man, the Avengers, or like the Fantastic Four. Yeah, I mean, the Avengers didn't really come into my sort of forefront, or to me, like, until the comics, like Marvel comic, like the New Avengers. That's when I got into the Avengers, when it was the New Avengers, when Spider-Man, when they went, like, Rikers Island had like an escape or something like that. That's when I got into the Avengers. But that was like before the movies and stuff like that. And Spider-Man was on there, which was a really good addition to the team. And then obviously Wolverine. I didn't really feel like Wolverine belonged in the Avengers, but he had some really good storylines, especially when they did the House of M, where his ideal version of himself is that he's like a Nick Fury character, which is pretty funny. But yeah, these are the books that I read, and I'm trying to read a little bit more. I'll probably go through like my collection, start rereading stuff, pulling out like the stuff that I was reading when I was younger, because I mean, I have them. Why go through? I mean, I would love to go through more dollar bins and get like gems like these. I did pick up a couple of other Namer books. I think issues 6 and 7. Still missing that issue 2. I kind of want to go forward with that. Still sort of on the hunt for that, but not too many places sell old books. But those are the best comic book stores, selling the old stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, on the lookout for some more Tech World. But that's it for me. I also read this book over here, The Magus Robot Fighter, from Valiant Comics, number 31. And the artwork is with Jim Calafiore, and the writer is John Ostrander. I never really got into Valiant too much. I do have like Turok. I have Solar Man of the Atom. I have the first, like, I'll have a lot of the first issues sort of the Valiant stuff. Exo Manowar, I think I have. I wasn't too big on Valiant, but I know I have a few. Deathmate. I have a couple of Deathmate stuff. Deathmate was pretty cool when that came out, but I wasn't too much into Valiant too much. I think one of the things I didn't like about Valiant, or which sort of turned me off from Valiant, because of the, look at this, is 225, man. I don't remember I remember this is like at a time when like comic books were like $1.50. So like I feel like these were too expensive for me. And I think they all sort of look like this sort of color. Like it looks, they have like a specific way of looking, I feel. And I don't think it was for me. I didn't really like it. I didn't really know who these characters were. I thought Turok was cool because that cover with the full cover was really cool. Now that I'm thinking about it, I got to pull that out of my box, a long box, and start reading that. I think I only have one issue. So I know it's a really popular, especially when the Nintendo 64 came out, you know? Cool stuff. But that's it for me. And I'll try to have another, I'll probably start another page next couple of days. And that's it for me. And God bless.